Well, hello everybody. Tim Time here. Well, not Tim Time, just Tim. Uh, this is Tim Time Projects, and I wanted to update you on a few things that I've been doing. I still have the Philco. I haven't really done much more than that ever since cleaning it up and putting it back in the box. I haven't had a chance to track down those tubes. And the tube tester that's down there, I haven't really done much. I made the parts list. I may even have those capacitors, but just haven't had a chance to look between that and everything else. So I came up here to set up some of the radio stuff, and that's what I'll show you what I hear today. So here we have a TS820S, and what's this? We have the MC60 and the MC50, the two Kenwood mics. You can see the other one back in there hiding. And then this is the AT200. Kind of goes sort of with, this was somewhat of a set. I think there was the antenna tuner and an auxiliary VFO and possibly even an auxiliary speaker that kind of went with the Kenwood Trio set. So, but with the 820, as you can see, I'm not showing anything on the display. And when I key it up on 10 meters, I'm only showing 50 watts. Now, I know I did a video about that a while ago, and I happened to have a tube laying around, and I replaced it with a driver, and that took care of it. So, not sure what issues the move here had, but it was all packed in a box and everything. I don't know why anything would have gotten damaged. It was brought up separate by me and the truck and my personal truck, and put on a floor and didn't move again until I pulled it out of the box. But that kind of thing happens, I guess. So then let's see. So that's no display and putting out half the power. There's my everyday cruiser there. That's the TS590 SG, I think it is. It's a HF radio only. Then here, I think you probably remember when I don't know if you remember when I did, because you might not have watched it, but I did a video on making this, getting this guy back up. It's a ICOM 746, not the Pro, just the regular 746. Pretty neat radio, but I don't really know a lot about ICOM, so it was kind of like dropping me in the cockpit of a 747. Let's see. Now, it's only putting out 50 watts on all bands. This does VHF. Makes my finger look so big. This only does VHF. I'm sorry, it does UHF. Sorry, one more time. HF and VHF. And about half power on all bands. And just from what I've been reading, it looks like that's kind of somewhat of a typical problem with those. So we got half power on the ICOM. We'll just shoot right up here. There's a Cobra 148. It's got upper and lower sideband. No, it hasn't been peaked and tuned. I really don't see the purpose in jeopardizing the finals to try and squeeze a few more watts out of it. I mean, 4 watts is probably plenty for me for CB. I really don't use it that much. It was when I had the CB in the truck and was playing around. And over here we have a Alinco DR605, and that's a VHF UHF, and that's a pretty neat radio. That's been a really good radio so far. I've had no problems with it. Of course, I don't have an antenna hooked up right now, so it hasn't been turned on, so who knows how that did with the move. Then we'll go up here to the Heathkit SB, what's it, the 200, the amplifier there. And guess what? Half power. It's only putting out half power, so I don't know what the deal is with that either. Just haven't had a chance to take that down and find out what's going on. It does have the original, well, from when I got it, and they looked like they were pretty beat up, the final tubes. So I don't know, maybe something vibrated loose. Doubt it. Or maybe it's the tubes, I don't know. And then let's see, over here we have the Trip Light 25 amp. It's not a switching power supply. and that's worked pretty good. It kind of vibrates a lot when I don't have something sitting on top of it. That's why that radio's sitting there, and it doesn't really get very hot, so I don't keep that radio there all the time anyhow. I usually have a little box I put up there, but I didn't want to knock the radio down when I was making this. Then back in there I have just a 10 switching center for the DC power supply, and that sends everything down to all the radios. And there's the ICOM. It's the ICV82. It's the VHF 2-meter model. And then next to that, you can see there's the signal link for the digital types of communications, and then my code key, which Larry thinks is kind of funny. I never really splurged and got an iambic or whatever you call them, those type. Yeah, so there's a lot of projects that I have to do, and that's probably why I haven't done any of them. I'm kind of getting overwhelmed, and then just doing work around on the house and the farm here, and the animals all being sick, and so. But we will persevere. We will endeavor to persevere. So let's see. I think that's about all I have. Well, I'll show you what I'm using for a mic setup for the 590. I'm using that, and I have a floor switch down there. I usually just hold the floor switch in my hand and key it actually. But it's nice sometimes to put a headphone on or a headset on so you can hear stuff. So anyhow, we'll get back to it. This guy here, we have to find out why it's only putting on half power. This guy here, we'll have to find out why it's only putting on half power. This guy here, I think I know why it's only putting on half power, but I'm not sure. But what we have to do is find out why the digital display is not working. I don't know. We'll see what happens with that. Let's see if yeah, the hole's not working, but I used it the other night, and it's still working fine, just not putting out about any more than about 50 watts on 10 meters. The other bands are fine. So, all right, well, that's all I have. I just wanted to give you an update and show you what's going on here, and we'll go from there. So thanks for watching, and have a nice weekend. Try to stay warm, because up here in the northwest of Pennsylvania, it got a little bit cold last night. We had a lot of rain, and today it's in the 40s, and tonight's probably going to be in the 30s. So take care. Thanks for watching.